Welcome to the final full moon workshop of 2022, and actually the first. The first of many. We're going to do one for every full moon in 2022, and I'm very excited that you're here. Today's a full moon workshop, so we are releasing. We're going to quickly talk about the moon. We're going to I'm going to read you a card that I've pulled for today, and then we're going to do visualization and meditation, during which I'm going to do some healing symbols for you, so you get some healing energy, because I am now a approved Anusha healer, level 1. We'll do visualization to help you release some things. I'm going to put some sound meditation over here, lots of things going on. We're going to try and keep it as quick as we can. The full moon actually reaches its peak on Sunday, but you'll be seeing this tomorrow, which is Saturday. I always like to put them up a day early because then you have time to plan when you're going to do them, and you can actually just do them from tomorrow. You can do them anytime now up to the new moon again. Obviously, the point of the full moon is the best time to do releasing, but this works at any time. This full moon tends to be associated with the harvest, so we're looking at almost a celebration of the rest of the year. It also pretty much coincides with the solstice, so we're at winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year. Christmas was originally a solstice celebration, so they chose a date for Jesus's birthday and celebrated that as part of the Catholic Church, but really they were moving people over from the celebration of the shortest day, which was celebrated with bringing evergreens into your home and making it beautiful, and gathering family and friends together and celebrating with fire. Yule logs, that's why we still have chocolate logs at Christmas. Lots of traditions carry over from the pagan times and have been morphed into what we celebrate today. It's a really great time to acknowledge all the things that you have been grateful for the year. Write down a list of things that make you happy. Write down a list of things that you really would like to celebrate as we leave 2021 behind. At the same time, it's also a great time to write down the list of things that you'd like to release from 2021, the things that you don't want to take over into 2022. Let's release them today, and let's go over with a clean slate. Full moons are super emotional, they're super intense. This is a micro full moon, I believe, which means it's probably not as intense. I think it's at 1 degree pedigree, which means it's not going to be the most intense full moon you felt. Nevertheless, it's still a great time to start. This moon is in Gemini to Cancer. Cancer rules the stomach, so it's a really good time to start thinking about what you're eating. Maybe just adding some minorly healthy things in. Actually, it's Christmas, so I would say just avoid overindulging if possible. Don't deprive yourself of anything, but at the same time remember that your body is going to last you forever. And I know I want to talk, but that's what I'm going to try and do this Christmas. The moon is in house 10, which can sometimes mean that your public view is quite in focus, which works perfectly at this time of year. We have often have lots of things going on. I know that there is a certain thing happening at the moment, but I personally still seem to have been very busy in the last couple of weeks. My public persona is very much on display, ready to go back into my introverted retreat in January. The moon is also opposite Uranus, which is all about building changes, freeing yourself of conventional thinking and considering what it means to belong to you. Does it mean what you've always thought it meant? As always, we will be using the Moonology cards today for a quick reading, and I'm actually going to read to you the full moon in Cancer bit of information, because it's about personal issues reaching resolution. Full moon Cancer is a super emotional sign, and so there could be something of an explosion of feelings around now. However, because we're at 1 degree pedigree, that might feel slightly less intense than it would normally. It's also about dealing with any family issues that are coming up, which obviously this is a great time to try and deal with family issues. Try and remember that each person in your family is a human, and as much as there may be problems with how you believe that they should behave, everybody's soul is on their own path, and every single person is entitled to live life how they want to live. So the best thing that we can do is have compassion for every single person. And if you come at a situation, no matter how difficult it seems, with compassion, you're much more likely to be able to walk away from it level-headed. Okay, so 3 cards have come out of the pack today, and they're all very much on the same message. Hold your vision, the answers you need are coming, and you're very close to achieving your goal. Remember, if you feel like you've been stuck in 2021, you've been in an energetic holding space, the best thing that you can do for this time is to just hold your vision. Keep still, keep safe. Know that change is coming, and it doesn't have to happen for everybody on the same timeline as it is for another person. So you may see someone whose timeline, who her soul has done the work, whose soul has been here before, their timeline seems to be moving very quickly, whereas yours seems to be stuck. Don't allow that to bother you. Your soul hasn't learnt the lessons that it needs to learn, and maybe you haven't released everything that you need to release. This can be subconscious. It doesn't mean that we know what we haven't released. It doesn't mean that we understand it yet, and maybe we're not supposed to. Things like meditation, breath work, sound healing, all those things can help you identify what you need to release. It might even be deep in your DNA. It might be ancestral things. It might be soul things that you don't even know about. You have to do the work in order to be able to move forward. On that note, we know what the situation is. We're holding our vision. Something's going to change, and hopefully that's going to be in 2022, because you're very close to achieving your goal. Today we're going to start off in a calm place. We're going to start with some gentle breathing. I'm going to do a tiny little bit of sound on my bowl, and then we're going to go into some music. I am going to put something on the screen at this point. I will be doing some talking, a little bit of visualization. If you've not been in your heart space with me, we're going to go to your heart space. Once we come out of that, I'm going to leave you quietly for a few minutes, at which point I'm going to do the distance healing symbols. And then we'll bring you back up again, this time with the sound of the grounding bowl. Hopefully you enjoy it. Remember, this is a pay what you can workshop. I'm asking that anything that you donate to me today comes back tenfold to you. And I thank you all for being here. Remember that not everyone has family at Christmas. Try and be, like I said earlier, compassionate towards everybody. And let's release the things that are going to hold you back in 2022. Go get yourself comfortable. I'm going to let you pause here if you need to, but otherwise, if you're here, you're comfortable, you're sat where you want to be, let's go. We're going to start with taking a big deep breath inwards for the count of 4. Hold it at the top and breathe all the way out. Every last bit of breath out as much as you possibly can. I'm going to ask you to do the same again. Breathe all the way in, fill every single bit of your lungs up, all the way down to your tummy, the biggest breath you've taken today. Hold it at the top and release it all out, everything out. And then I'm going to get you to just count your breaths. So we go 1 on the in-breath, 2 on the out-breath, 3 on the in-breath, and so forth until you get to 10. Once you get to 10, you're just going to start back down on 1 again. And while you do that, I'm just going to clear the energy for us in the air. So I'd just like you to allow your breath to return to normal again. And you're going to imagine that you are on a pathway. And you're walking down a pathway, and if you've been with me before, you'll know that we're heading into your heart space. There'll be a big door in front of you, and you're going to go through that door, leaving any problems that you've got at the door, and head into your heart space. This is your heart space. Nobody can tell you what it should look like. Nobody can tell you what can and can't be in here. I'm going to walk all the way to the other side of the room, and we're going to go out into the garden. As always, we're going to tend to our little seedlings and weed. The first thing I want you to do is to pick your watering can up and give your seedlings a little water. If you don't have any seedlings planted yet, just water the ground. There'll be a bare patch of ground there somewhere. Water your ground, ready for your intentions at new moon. Creating good fertile ground here today. And so once you've given it all a little water, it doesn't need much today, we're going to then go to a new patch of dirt. This is going to be covered in weeds, it's going to be a bit chaotic. There's going to be lots of feelings and emotions tied into these weeds that you don't even know are there yet. So I want you to imagine that each weed represents something in your life that you want to release today. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes thinking about what you consciously want to release. This could be anything from self-doubt to not feeling good enough to money problems to worry to anything. Maybe it's an old job that you don't want anymore, just anything that you want to release. You're going to imagine that each weed is attached to one of those thoughts. And if you've got one overarching thought today, you can make that the only thing that we're releasing. I want you to start pulling out these weeds. There'll be some kind of wheelbarrow or bucket of some description next to you. You're going to just start pulling them out of the ground. Just gently, not ripping the roots off here. We want to try and get them out as gently as possible. We're not going to go crazy just pulling them all out. We're just going to take them out gently, one by one. And just as you're pulling them out, feel that feeling of release. As if whatever you're worried about is just disappearing. I'm just going to leave you for a couple of minutes to do that. And so once you have tried to dig everything out of your garden, there may be some things left. There's not a problem. We're going to keep coming back to this patch until it's completely clear. We're going to keep working our way around your garden until it's beautiful. There'll always be weeds growing. Don't ever pretend that this is going to be the end. But weeds can often be just flowers in the wrong place. We're just going to get them out, deal with them, transmute them into something else. So you're going to actually take all these things and you're going to put them in a compost bin over the other side of the garden. Because all these negative feelings are the reason you're here today, and all these negative feelings can create soul lessons. They can create the foundation on which you build your new seeds. They're going to create beautiful, rich compost. You're going to put them all in there and we're going to let them break down. If you've put your gardening gloves on, pull them off. And let's head back inside. Once you're inside, there'll be a beautiful space that looks exactly how you want it to look. And somewhere in there, there will be a sofa. And we're going to go sit on the sofa and we're going to clear down our aura. So the first thing I want you to do is to imagine your aura. It's like an egg-shaped energy field that surrounds your body. And wherever you're sat on the sofa, there'll be a table in front of you, and on the table will be a flame. A small flame. It could be in a candle form or it could be a bowl. The flame is purple, violet, bright violet purple. So your aura you can see around you will be a colour. Your colour will be individual to you. And I just want you to quickly scan through that aura and see if there's anything in there that shouldn't be. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a comb and we're going to brush down our aura and we're going to throw anything negative or anything that we're ready to release, anything that needs clearing from your aura into the purple flame. Then once you've done that, you're going to get a piece of paper and a pen that's on the side, and you're going to write down all the things that you were thinking outside, all the feelings that you put into the weeds. It's going to write all that down. And here is where I'm going to leave you for a little while, thinking about those things that you need to release now. Things might come up slowly, they might come up straight away, but we're going to stay here. If your mind wanders, just come back to focusing on your breath, the same way as we were before. Up to 10 and then back to 1 again. I am going to do some healing symbols for you while I leave you here. Once you have written everything that you want to release, just sit quietly, because as I said, something else might come up and I will come back and get you in a few minutes. And so I'd like you to take your piece of paper now and just pop it into the purple flame and let all those things that you want to release today just float up into the air. Just give them to the universe. And then we're going to slowly stand back up again. And we're going to head out of our door, closing it off, making sure it's all nice and safe and calm for us to return to. And in your own time, you're going to just slowly walk back up the pathway. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, just slowly coming back to us. This is just a grounding frequency. It's just going to get a little bit louder. So if you've got headphones on, you might want to just turn them down. Hopefully you're back in the room with us here now. If you haven't opened your eyes, you can do. I really hope you've enjoyed today's full moon workshop and release. The next thing you need to do is just write everything down that we've talked about today. Write everything that you want to release. I always recommend having a specific moon book to write this stuff in so that you can come back and look at it in 6 months' time, because often we are linked to the new moon in 6 months. I have been Emma. You can always find my daily life on Instagram. Wellness and holistic health, movement, good food, and a good time. And I'll see you back here for the new moon in 2 weeks. Remember, this is a pay what you can workshop. Even if you think it's helped you very slightly, any donations are gratefully received. The link is down below.